What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 small 9mm pistols. Now, this video is going to be about the best 9mm carry guns you can buy. Small 9mm carry guns anyway, you know, the ones you actually carry as opposed to post on Instagram. We're going to be judging these guns on several factors, including reliability, accuracy, shootability, ease of use, aftermarket support, including holsters, sights, Punisher logos, whatever weird crap you're into, and of course, the overall price. But before we get into the video, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. Because of you, the channel's still live, and I really appreciate that. We do a monthly giveaway for my Patreon followers, which this month I believe is going to be another K-Bar knife, since that was such a big hit, and probably some Olight products as well. I also want to mention there's a couple of other links in the description, including a local homeless shelter in Ames, Iowa that could really use your support. I'd appreciate it if you go down there and donate to those kids. Since it's the winter months, they could use your support more than ever. Now let's get right into it with number 5 here, the Walther PPS M2. The PPS M2 is a 3.2-inch 9mm striker-fired polymer frame pistol designed for carry. Well, you know, all these are pretty much going to be 9mm striker-fired pistols designed for carry. It comes with 2 magazines, a 6-round and a 7-round, but 8-round magazines are available. It also has a trigger safety, no manual safety. It comes in at about 19 ounces and is about 1 inch thick. Models are available with red dots, however most are not. Usually they come with 3-dot night sights. They have a good grip, classic PPQ ergonomics, which are very nice to me because I'm a big fan of the PPQ. It also has a good undercut, and the trigger is pretty exceptional. I would say it's on par, or at least tied with the best trigger for a small gun out of the box. It also has front slide serrations, and the takedown is fairly Glockish. Some of the downsides to the gun are going to be the aftermarket support, like holsters and sights. However, some are available. Now, it comes in right around $250, making it extremely affordable. I've seen these guns anywhere from $250 to $350, but considering that they're very reliable, very accurate, and pretty ergonomic, they are a really good buy for that money. Now let's get into number 4. That's going to be the Mossberg MC1. The Mossberg MC1 has a 3.4-inch barrel with a DLC coating, and it is again a polymer frame striker-fired pistol. It comes with 1 6-round and 1 7-round magazine, just like the PPS, although the magazines are clear and they are compatible with Glock magazines, so if you want to use any of the aftermarket Glock 43 mags, you feel free to do so. And the gun is extremely snag-free, all beveled all the way from the top of the pistol down to the bottom. That way, if you happen to carry this in a pocket, you won't get it snagged in anything, or if you're carrying it inside the waistband, it won't get snagged in your shirt when you try to pull it out, which is a pretty nice feature in my opinion. The takedown is a little weird. It actually has a button on the back of the gun, so it can avoid pulling the trigger. However, I did experience some issues with this early on in testing. The grip's pretty excellent. It has some pretty awesome texture, and it has a really good flat face trigger that comes right from the factory, which does help with accuracy. This is probably the most accurate pistol on this list right out of the box. It was very easy to shoot. Now, the reason why it's number 4, though, is even though it comes in at around $250 to $300, making it one of the cheapest guns on the list, it is also the least reliable pistol on the list. It had 2 failures out of 1,000 rounds, which isn't bad at all, but it is more than the competition, so that's why it sits at the number 4 spot. Moving on to number 3, the Glock 43X. Maybe my favorite gun out of the 3, just simply because I have large hands. But the 43X is a larger version of the 43, and in my opinion, a slightly better version. The 43X has a 3.4-inch 9mm barrel, striker-fired action, polymer frame, and it has a slightly larger profile than most of the other guns on this list. Because of that, it does have a better grip, and it's going to be better for shooting overall. However, it's going to be a little worse for carry. It's not going to be quite as comfortable because of that large grip, and it's also going to print a little bit more. However, personally, compared to full-size guns like the 17 or the 19, I think the 43X is a good mix of capacity, shootability, and size to make it fairly easy to conceal. It comes with 2 10-round magazines, but again, 15-round magazines from Shield Arms are available, making this a pretty excellent choice for a all-around gun overall. Not only that, but it weighs in at 16 ounces, so even though it's the biggest gun on the list, it's also the lightest. So the weight to capacity ratio is off the charts with the 43X. The 4-inch G48 is also available with a longer slide if you're into that kind of thing. The reliability in the 43X was excellent, 1,000 rounds clean with no problems for the review, and then after that, since it is one of my carry guns, I've continued to shoot it, and I've got about 2,000 rounds or so through it, and still zero malfunctions with a wide spectrum of ammo, including hollow points. The accuracy on the 43X is kind of what holds it back. Coming out of the factory, it has pretty cheap plastic Glock sights, like all other Glocks, and it also has probably the worst trigger on the list. However, because it happens to be a Glock, it benefits from the largest aftermarket support of any firearm, and you can quickly change those sights and trigger if you want. However, that is an added cost, and considering that it comes in at right around $400 to $500, which is more expensive than the previous two, adding a trigger and sights onto that will make it almost not worth the money. However, if you do get an upgraded Glock 43X, the gun is absolutely excellent. It does come with front slide serrations, and most of the 43Xs are two-toned. However, you can get the black slide now, which I actually prefer. Because of that aftermarket support, you can take advantage of basically every holster that has ever been made, including every sight or every trigger. Almost all of those aftermarket products for handguns are made for Glock first. It does also have the marksman barrel, which is supposedly an improvement over the original 43, but personally myself, I have not seen any improvement in accuracy, considering most accuracy you can get out of a firearm, you have to actually do yourself with your trigger finger and your eye. It does suffer a little on the accuracy side, but shootability of this gun, as far as getting rounds on target quickly up close, is the best on the list, and that's why it sits at number 3 for me, along with the fact that I'm a fairly large guy with fairly large hands, and the 43X just happens to fit my hands the best. Also, Glock comes with a track record of reliability, which is probably one of the best features overall. Now, at number 2, I'm going to have to say it's going to be the M&P Shield 2.0. And the M&P Shield Gen 1 was one of the first popular 9mm single stacks, probably the biggest selling 9mm single stack to date, and it really was the king of that market for many years, basically still is. It comes with one 7 and one 8 round magazine. It has a 3-inch 9mm barrel. It comes in at around 18 ounces. Even though it's a little bit short of capacity of the G43X, it does, however, conceal a little bit better and shoots almost as well. It's extremely reliable. In my testing, I shot 1,000 rounds through it with no problems whatsoever. The Shield has a well-known track record of reliability. The sights are okay, and the 2.0 does come with an improved trigger. However, the trigger does have an articulating break in the middle, which I have to assume is to avoid any lawsuits from Glock. However, it is weird and it is hard to get used to, and honestly, with a lot of guns coming out today with flat face triggers, you're probably going to end up changing it out to something like an Apex if you do happen to get the 2.0. Again, just like the Glock, 4-inch barrel versions are available. The texture on the gun is probably better than any other factory texture that you're going to get for a firearm, but it is a little bit aggressive, so some people do complain about it rubbing on your stomach. However, when you are shooting long strings of fire, it's just awesome, and it glues right in your hand. It has an 18-degree point of aim, which feels very natural, and it has the best takedown of any gun on this list. I love that lever, and you can use it anytime you want, even in mud, sand, or dirt. Whatever conditions you find yourself in that you have to take your gun apart, it's easy to do. The armor tough finish is very nice, and the 3-dot sights that it comes with, again, pretty awesome. Now, you can get this gun with or without a safety, which is pretty good considering some people won't buy a gun without a safety and some people will, so it has options for both. And a price tag of around $250 to $400, depending on where you buy them, makes it an extremely good buy in my opinion. Guns like the M&P Shield 2.0 or the Glock 43X are not only great for carry, but since they're a little bit larger, they can also flex into home defense fairly well. Now, before we get to the number 1 slot, I want to talk about a couple of honorable mentions that almost made it on this list. The first honorable mention is going to be the SIG P938. This was actually a gun that I carried for quite a while many years ago. And the Ruger LC9S, another one of the highest selling 9mm pistols because of its price and reliability. But in at number 1 is going to be the SIG P365. And the SIG P365 is a gun that came out last year in 2018. magazine, and this 365 XL came out this year. And it made a pretty big splash considering it has a very unique mag design that allows the rounds to be staggered. And that helps you out because you can fit more rounds in the same size grip. The SIG P365 is actually smaller than the Glock 43X and the M&P Shield, however it carries almost twice the capacity of the Shield, which is pretty impressive. On top of that, it doesn't make the grip any larger, so if you have small hands, you can still shoot this gun very well. The 365 is again a polymer framed striker fired 9mm pistol. It comes in at around 17 ounces, and it comes with two 10-round magazines, however 12 rounders and 15 rounders are available. Capacity really is king with the 365. If you're looking for a gun that's incredibly small and carries a high capacity or fairly high capacity magazine of a formidable 9mm round, the 365 really is one of the only options out there. It has a 3-inch barrel, and the 365 XL has a 4-inch barrel. And again, you can put red dots on them, but they do come with some pretty awesome HD night sights right from the factory. They also come with a pretty great trigger that has a fairly flat face, and it's pretty crisp. Front slide serrations, undercut, all the ergonomics are excellent, including the texture, and on top of that, it does also have the best coating of all the guns in the list with their nitron coating. The reliability was pretty excellent. 1,000 rounds clean with no failures. Since then, I put almost another 500 to 700 rounds through it, and again, no problems whatsoever. The original models did have some issues with striker drag, and they also did have some models with some problems with springs and things like that. However, at least from my experience and from the comments that I've been receiving, all those problems have been pretty much ironed out. So reliability is on point, accuracy is pretty excellent, capacity is better than any of the other guns on the list, and it's a little bit smaller than most of the guns on the list. All that for around $400 to $500, making the P365 not only innovative, but my pick for the best small pistol that you can get for concealed carry. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. I'm loaded up with this beautiful monster here, the HK Mark 23, and we're gonna shoot at 50 yards and see how we do. I shoot a 45, honey?
Why?
Because they don't make a 46. Damn, this is a beautiful pistol.
Is that a joke I was supposed to get?